Hey, Mac. Hey, Comic Brook. Hey, Killface. Waiting for this all week. Well, I hope it is enjoyable. And I just noticed that it's got an exclamation mark in the title. Ah, well. Hey, sweet Caroline. Volume seems good, right? Just while we wait for other people to come in, I'm going to turn the music volume down, like, just while we wait for other people. Just until other people come in. Yeah, just give it a few minutes of chatting, you know? Hey, Silent. Janice here. Nice. Hi, Tara. What is Magic Girl? Like Sailor Moon. Not sure if you ever, like, not sure if you're familiar with Sailor Moon, like if you ever watched Sailor Moon or anything like that. Um, a magical girl is a girl who does like a magical transformation and then uses magic abilities to fight evil. Hey, Jordan. What is this? Let's see. That is Sailor Moon is sort of the not the original magical girl, but it was sort of the biggest magical girl franchise. What is this? We'll get into it in a bit. Magical girl gets to transform. That is definitely a part of it. Like it's not necessary. They don't necessarily have to transform, but it is very, very, very common in the magical girl genre. Hey, Jenna. Am I a magical girl? I wish. Like Sailor V. I have not yet read. I have not yet read the Sailor V manga. I've read a few volumes of the Sailor Moon manga. Need to get this one. I don't remember. I might have backed it on Kickstarter. So yeah, Wikipedia defines it as centered on young girls who possess magical abilities. which they typically use through an ideal alter ego into which they can transform. The manga is good. Yeah, I said I've read a little bit of. I've read first few volumes of the Sailor Moon manga. I need to get back to it. I do plan on doing like a full read through, reread what I've already read, and then get into the full thing. Sailor Venus just in the Sailor Skips cheered. Yeah, this one I might have backed this one on Kickstarter. I feel like I might have backed this one on Kickstarter just because of the name. It was just a fun name. Japanese have a term for legit everything. Just about. I suspect in North America, Magical Girl probably just would have, like, prior to the emergent Sailor Moon, prior to people sort of becoming aware of the idea of Magical Girl as a genre, I suspect that it probably just would have been pushed under the superhero umbrella back in the day. Kind of still is. I mean, it is still like it's superhero, but because Japanese manga has so many more genres than, or at least used to. North American comics have expanded a little bit. But back in the day, for a long time, in North America, comic books really just meant superheroes. Manga in Japan just had a much wider array of genres, so they were able to get into subgenres and stuff much more easily. On a totally random topic, before we get into the game, last night I watched, or really this morning, but I've mentioned the channel before, The Charismatic Voice. It's this woman, she's like a professional opera singer, and she does these analyses of usually popular songs. And so I watched her do an analysis of Sweet Child of Mine. Apparently she'd never listened to Guns N' Roses in her life. She'd never heard Guns N' Roses. Never heard Axl Rose. So this video was like literally her first time listening to Guns N' Roses, listening to Axl Rose. And it was hilarious. She was baffled. And again, this is a woman who's listened to a lot of singers. She knows vocal techniques, inside out. She's researched vocal techniques. Like, she's read scientific research about different vocal techniques. She knows singing. And Axl Rose just left her utterly baffled. But she watched a live performance of Sweet Child of Mine. And back in the day, Axl Rose used to run around the stage a lot. So he'd be running around doing his wow, wow, wow. And not missing a beat. And just how? He's that good. It's not just that he's good, because she wasn't sure if she wasn't actually sure if she liked his voice. But yeah, it's not just that he's good. He is genuinely phenomenally talented singer. It's also just that it shouldn't work. Like I said, running around like that's like running around on stage. That makes singing hard. But he does it. And she did not understand how. So yeah, she's just like she kept laughing. Like she just kept laughing at it. Because he was absolutely putting on a hell of a performance. Like, yeah, he's a phenomenal performer. And she's like, yeah, he'd do like something, and she'd just pause and laugh. Hold on a second. Wrong number. Got a phone call, but I was in the wrong number. Yeah, she also listened to November Rain. That one she listened. She watched the music video, which means the studio version. Also, like you know, she's mostly of whenever she does these videos, she is mostly focusing on vocals, but she kept being blown away by Slash's guitar solos, or just his guitar work in general, but especially his solos, because Slash is just fucking insane. Anyway, hey Nova. Alright, this a good volume for the music? Figure ready to get into the game, so is this a good volume for the music? Audible, but you can hear me over it. That good? A little louder, a little quieter. Just right. Whoa. Okay, that was loud. Might want to turn down the sound effects. No. Do I date for love or money? Neither. I don't date. Before we begin, we need to find out more about you. Why? Please answer the following questions truthfully. No. Question 1. What do I look like? Huh. I genuinely did not remember that this game had, I genuinely did not remember that this game allowed you to choose your gender. Been a long time since I played it. Read it. Yeah, I don't really have a way of increasing the font size, I don't think. By the way, before we get into it, should say they do have mature content warning. Some violence, general mature content. Would I marry for love or money? Neither. I don't want to get married. Anything? No. No, I don't have a way of increasing the font size. Sorry, Jordan, don't have a way of increasing the font size. Anyways, I see, so you look like this. Yes. Very good, we shall continue. Question 2. What is your name? Default is Yuki. Shall we stick with the default of Yuki, or should we change the name? Yeah, let's just stick with the default name. Let's stick with the default name. Doesn't her mouth look really far down on her chin? Yeah, I suppose. Your name is Yuki. Sure. For all answers. That's what I'm going with. And we may begin. Today is a wondrous day. It's a day I've dreamt about for nearly 3 months. A day that I surely thought would never arrive. I'm gonna call her Mouth. All the blood, sweat, and tears I've shed these past months have led me to this very point in time. This perfect moment, the very point of my entire existence. I now hold in my possession the Holy Grail, an object of such great value and importance that it would spell disaster if it fell into the wrong hands. I think all you're supposed to see is eyes, hair, and titties. Probably. That sounds about right. On a side note, I don't remember if we actually, I don't remember if our, character is ever actually visible on screen after this. It rests heavily in my palm, seeming to pulsate with life. The inconspicuous brown paper bag covering it does little to mask its holy aura. As I gaze upon this most sacred of objects, I make a solemn vow to myself. I promise to guard this object until the day I die. For now, it's time to view the object's full, magnificent splendor. I unwrap the brown paper bag and am nearly blinded by the light emanating from within. Yeah, we got ourselves a weeb here. We got ourselves a mega weeb. So, volume 35. Man, some mangas do go forever. Finally, I now hold the uncovered object in all of its radiant glory. It's the limited edition, special cover version of Volume 35 of my all-time favorite Magical Girl manga series. Yes! Finally! I waited for 3 months after this volume was announced for today, the release day. I find myself shedding a single tear of joy as I bask in the beauty of the limited edition cover. With only 100 of these printed, I am truly one of the luckiest people alive. Hey, Vanna. I've been following this series since I was just an impudent child. I have grown alongside it, chanting the heroine's name in my sleep night after night. And now the very last volume has arrived. Years of worship have guided me here. Today, the series is complete. I'll return home and read this most valued tome and achieve true nirvana. I mean, I've kind of been there. You know, like, I was pretty into The Wicked and the Divine. Is it a long time on this frame? Yeah. She's in love with a fictional character. With the book, at least. Reading this series over the years has been an uphill battle. My friends often mocked me for following a children's manga series, but they just didn't see the beauty of it. They couldn't possibly fathom the rich, intricate history of the world, the heroine's ambitions and motives, the ever-present darkness threatening to engulf the world. If they truly wanted to believe this is a children's manga, that's their right. But I wouldn't be swayed by their narrow-minded opinions. I feel myself trembling in anticipation as my fingers reach forward to open the cover. I find it relatable. Right? Whomst among us? No, I must be patient. I need to return home first, before I dive into this adventure. I just can't keep my eyes off the beautiful cover. This walk home will truly be a test of my inner strength and willpower. I mean, I've picked up some comics with some gorgeous covers. One manga weeba. I should power walk towards my house. The quicker I get home, the quicker I can begin reading. Excellent idea. The journey speeds along at a rapid pace. I don't even have to take my eyes off the manga. I know this route so well. Just a few more blocks to go. I feel like I've wasted most of spring, lazing away with nothing to do. I can't even remember the majority of it. The days just pass like a blur. Every day the same as the last. At the very least, Hikari came to visit me some days. At least, I think she did. I don't remember if she ever stayed long or if we talked much. Hikari? Still, it was a nice thing for her to do. This week has been unusually hot for the season. I think the heat has been scrambling my brains like eggs on a fry pan. I've been finding it so hard to focus lately, to concentrate on anything at all. Bust it wide open is one of my fave phrases. I know I should perk up a little, try and get some things done before the season ends. But then again, it's just so easy to lay here on the grass without a care in the world. I wonder how much longer I can go on like this. Everything changed on that fateful day 2 years ago. That day I picked up the final volume of my favorite Magical Girl manga series. I read it cover to cover, and when I finished, reality began to sink in. The story was over. The story I had been following for nearly my entire life was just finished. Since that day, I felt so very, very lost. My appetite disappeared. I stopped hanging out with friends. I dropped all of my hobbies. The way you said it, that wasn't hickory, was correct. So, hikari. Focus on the ka sound. Emphasis on ka. Thought this is a dating game. It sort of is. So it is one part dating sim, one part psychological horror. Not sure if we'll get to any of the actual horror parts tonight. I assure you, it is a horror game. It's a slow burn horror game. The first chunk of it is... The first chunk, like, for a long time, it really does follow just, like, sort of, like, basic dating sim approach. There will be horror. I'm gonna bust it wide open now. That's a little sus of you. No, you can still be sus of me. The days went by in a haze, and looking back, I can't remember a single moment with any kind of clarity. It's sad, but that's the truth of it. Been there. I can try and blame the recent heat as much as I want, but really, I've been feeling like this for a few seasons now. I need to pick myself up. If I don't get a grip, I'm going to throw away my entire future. I need to get my head back in the game. What you need is a new manga. See, that's the trick. When your favorite series ends, whether it be, TV show, book series, comic series, whatever. When your favorite series ends, the trick is to just find a new one to obsess over. What made you pick this one? The name. I think I picked this one just because of the name. Like, I think I don't... I'm pretty sure I backed it on Kickstarter. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I backed this game on Kickstarter. And it was only because... And it was entirely based on the name. I hate book grieving. Right? It is so fucked up. When you're really invested in a book, show, whatever. When you're really invested in something, and it comes to an end, and you grieve it, and it's not fucking real. Why am I so emotional about this thing ending? None of it was real. The power of fiction. I need to pull it together before tomorrow. Tomorrow, the first day at my new school. It's kind of hard to believe. Even though I graduated high school, someone decided for me that my studies should continue. I assume that someone was Hikari. She's always meddling in my business. I suppose it's her way of looking after me. Read myself into the nut house and then take a year off. Read myself into the nut house and then... Yeah. Before I knew it, I was enrolled in a new academy, without so much as my nod of approval. Classes start tomorrow, whether I'm ready or not. Yes, I do want to stress, the characters are all at least 18 years of age. Supposedly. I'm not entirely convinced. But yes, all the characters are allegedly 18 or older. As for the Academy itself, I can't say I know much about it. There was a brochure in my letterbox at one point, but that promptly fell into the recycling can. I remember it had a lot of smiling faces on it. Probably just typical propaganda. 8,000-year-old demons? Allegedly. Yeah. That's why I was sus of you. It's why you were probably right to be Comic Book. Yeah, the characters are all allegedly at least 18. Is how some of them do. None of them look 18. I don't think any of them actually look 18. I will say that. I don't think any of the dateable girls, like, fucking none of them actually look like they're 18 years old. Taking accountability yet. I don't even know what kind of classes I'll be attending. It could be anything considering Hikari's eclectic tastes. She's probably signed me up for a cooking class, or horseback riding, or advanced basket weaving. Who knows? I'm beginning to doze off in the warm afternoon sun. Just before my awareness slips away completely, a shadow falls across my face. Someone is suddenly standing over me. I squint, trying to make out their features. It's time to wake up now, Yuki! Hikari Sato. I suppose she looks like she could be 18. I feel like I would probably guess her age at 16, but 18, okay. I guess I could believe 18, even though I think she looks more like 16. She got scoliosis? Nah. What are you lying around here for? It's far too hot. You're going to cook. I shoot the girl a dirty look, as if accusing her for interrupting my rest. It takes me another couple of seconds to recognize the girl. Blame my foggy mind. Oh, it's you, Hikari. Jeez, is that what passes for a greeting these days? Sorry, I was just lost in thought. Well, it's my fault for expecting you to treat me with a little respect. I said I'm sorry. Fine. This intrusive girl is none other than Hikari, one of my oldest friends. She's kind of cute in her own way, I guess. I've known her for such a long time that I can't imagine her as anything other than just a friend. Though, I wonder if she feels the same way about me. So yes, Magic Girl, so dating sim. So this is the childhood friend who's secretly in love with you. All the dateable girls fit into very neat tropes. Stereotypes. All the dateable girls fall into recognizable stereotypes. Hikari is the kind of girl that shoots first and asks questions later, but that's probably due to her being overprotective rather than assertive. It's the reason I assume she is the one who enrolled me at the new academy. I don't know anyone else who cares about my future like she does. Secretly, yep. When we were younger, she had a habit of following me around everywhere, kind of like a little sister. As we grew older, this habit evolved into meddling in my business, and stealing my lunch every day. It probably sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm honestly not. Hikari is a great person, and I'm truly lucky to have a friend like her. I just don't really understand what she sees in me, or what she gets out of our relationship. Free lunches, clearly. Hey, PK. She steals your lunch. That's what she gets out of the friendship. Anyway, what are you doing out here? Do you have any idea how long it took me to find you? I'm just relaxing. What's the big deal? Relaxing? You don't do anything but relax. You're aware we're starting school tomorrow, right? Yep. Painfully aware. Wait, you said we're, as in we. Are you attending class with me, Hikari? Oh, give me a break. I've explained this to you at least 6.5 times. I swear, talking to you is like talking to a brick wall. Except the brick wall is better looking than you are. I mean... Look. A well-constructed brick wall is a thing of beauty. Hey, I object to that. Look. We're going to the academy together and that's final. You don't have a say in the matter, okay? She's annoying. Hey, Rebecca. Okay, please don't hurt me. I wouldn't dream of hurting you. I have a question, though. What kind of classes are we taking? Brick wall. Nice. A thoughtful expression crosses Hikari's features. I can tell she's making up her mind on whether to scold me or give me a proper answer. Well, if you'd read the guide I left for you at your house... Here we go. You'd already know that we'll be taking basic first-year classes. Nothing too difficult, I'd imagine. They know you're a noob, so you shouldn't have any problems. Somehow, being called a noob hurts more than anything else Hikari could have come up with. Aren't you a noob as well, Hikari? She looks taken aback, almost as offended as I got just seconds ago. Well, no. I'm not new to this. You know I've been practicing for years. Practicing? What is she talking about? I'm confused. What have you been practicing? A frown crosses Hikari's face. I know this expression well. It's her "I'm so tired of your clueless ass" face. I've been practicing to become a fully fledged magical girl, of course. Why is Hikari enrolling us in school? She's not our mom. I mean, it's a magical girl. It's a magical girl show. A lot of magical girls don't have moms that don't have parents anymore. Her words hit me like a truck. Did she just say magical girl? Somehow, the stupor I've been living in for endless months shatters in an instant. I feel like my eyes have opened for the first time in a long time. I see Hikari's smiling face beaming at me, as if she's so very proud of what she just said. Paul Wall, my dentist. My smile will get you sunburnt. Of course. Of course I remember that Hikari is training to become a magical girl. How could I let such a magnificent fact elude me for so long? I've known as much for years. So if I put 2 and 2 together, I'd say the academy we're attending from tomorrow is a school for magical girls. But why am I going? I have no magical talent whatsoever. Tee, you look like you just took a nice cold shower, Yuki. Is everything okay? I think about her question for a moment. I do feel more alert now. It's a familiar feeling. It's almost the way I felt before, back before my favorite manga series finished. The truth is, magical girls are very, very real. The whole time I had my head buried in manga, real-life magical girls existed all around me. I think I was just too nervous to ever go out and meet them. Enroll Hikari so hard she needs a back brace. Except for Hikari. I knew her before she ever awakened her powers. I can't quite explain why I've let my mind stay so foggy these last few years, but maybe now, with school starting tomorrow, I can begin to work towards becoming a functioning human being again. I give Hikari a slight smile. Hikari, why am I going to a school for magical girls? Hikari shuffles on the spot. She seems hesitant to tell me. The truth is... About a month ago, you and I were having dinner, and all of a sudden your powers awoke. She can stop peeving herself in our faces now? What, you don't like teen girls shoving their tits in your face? What kind of creepy old pervert are you, Comic Brook? That you don't want teen girls shoving their tits right in your goddamn face. Anyway, about a month ago, you and I were having dinner, and all of a sudden, your powers awoke. That's an 8-year-old. What? I noticed it immediately, but you seemed like your old oblivious self and barely paid attention to what happened. So, what did happen? Like I said, we were having dinner together. I accidentally knocked a glass of water off the table. This doesn't look right. I know. It was going to shatter on my bare feet, and I screamed, afraid of cutting myself on the glass. It happened so quickly I couldn't move away in time. And you kind of just glanced at the glass and it stopped. Mid-air. Frozen in time. The FBI Frank. Direct line. Yeah. I mean literally frozen in time. Ice and all. I don't believe you. I would remember something like that. You just shrugged and continued eating. I'm trying to think if I would be that oblivious. It's entirely possible that I would actually be that oblivious as well. I think, at the time, you just believed I had made the glass freeze in place. After all, you've known about my magical powers for a long time. Is this the Powerpuff Girls? No. I awoke to my powers when I was 13. Maybe 14? I don't quite remember. But still. I have a very specific set of powers, and don't forget, I'm untrained. There's no way I could freeze something in time. Hi, Scapegoat. I don't know what you just said. I don't actually know what you just said, Scapegoat, so I'm not even going to try to read that aloud. Hi, Buttercup. Is that... is that a thing? Is it just like anytime somebody mentions the Powerpuff Girls, Buttercup shows up? We gotta try that in future streams. I think that's something we have to try in future streams. When Buttercup's not around, just... Someone mention the Powerpuff Girls and see if Buttercup immediately appears. So, after that night, I replayed the event back in my mind over and over. The only explanation is that you froze the glass. You suddenly awoke to your own powers and saved me from getting cut on broken glass. And back to teen tits in our face. So what you're saying is, I'm a hero. Bleh, not quite, Yuki. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I never enrolled us to attend the academy. We were both sent letters from the association. They can detect who has magical powers and who doesn't, you know. They keep a record of everyone. Marshmallow Fluff Girls. According to the association, once magical girls reach 18 years of age, it's the law for them to attend the academy. The letters basically demanded we attend the academy, effective immediately. Because you awaken to your powers, right on the age of 18, you get the joy of going back to school. No! School sucks. Gods, how horrifying. Back to school. Regardless, we both start classes tomorrow. We'll both be training to become magical girls. All this information is swirling around my head like a tornado. I feel simultaneously excited and exhausted. Do I really have magical powers? Can I actually freeze things in time? I can't think of any other situation where I've done such a thing, and I have no clue how to make it happen again. Well, I suppose that's the point of the academy. They should train me to reach my full potential, what, right? I guess attending class with Hikari won't be so bad. Maybe I'll make some new friends too. What do you say we get out of here? We can grab some dinner to celebrate our last night of freedom. Sounds good to me. You're paying, though. I am not, you big lug. You can pay for both of us. Hey, dinner was your idea, not mine. Why should I pay? Pfft, you're just as hopeless as always. How did I get dragged into going back to school with you? Really trying to emphasize this definitely 18 thing, huh? Indeed, yes. Yeah, they're really trying to push, like, we promise they're 18! We promise they're 18. Earlier, I said that they are allegedly 18. Yeah, the girls are allegedly 18. You love it. Let's see how many classes we can make it through before I strangle you out of frustration. April 16th, Monday! Shut up. Been there. Oh man, have I ever been there. I will cut you? Ugh. Please, for the love of all that is holy, shut up. Murder. I got murder in my heart. I begrudgingly open my eyes, and am greeted by the sight of my alarm clock having a seizure on the floor. The glowing red numbers taunt my blurry vision by fading in and out at full speed. I groan and rub my eyes, trying to clear my vision. Finally, I can make out the numbers on the clock clearly. 8:02 a.m. I yawn. Thankfully, it's still early. I've got nothing to do today except eat leftovers, so why did I set my alarm for such an early time? 8:03 a.m. I smack my lips at the thought of the cold Chinese takeout waiting for me in the refrigerator. 8:04 a.m. Will you stop going up so quickly? I stifle a yawn. Some distant thought is tugging at the back of my mind. Have I forgotten something important about today? Did I have something more serious to do than eat leftovers? More serious than leftovers? 8:05 a.m. Nah, impossible. There's nothing important going on in my life right now. Maybe Hikari said she'll visit today, or something small like that. 8:06 a.m. Oh yeah. Something is coming back to me. Been here as well. School? Am I supposed to go to school today? 8:07 a.m. I feel like a bucket of cold water has just splashed over my head. Suddenly wide awake, I realize that I've completely forgotten that today is my first day at the academy. Everything is coming back to me now, including the fact that Hikari told me first year orientation starts at 8:30 a.m. sharp. Sharp! And... magical girl trope. Oh no, late for school! I gotta run with a piece of toast in my mouth. 8:08 a.m. I can't be late for my first day at the academy. What will Hikari think of me? More importantly, what will the cute magical girls I've never met think of me? Can't wait to get our magic degree. I leap out of bed like a frog launching from a lily pad. I immediately regret this action as I'm still tangled up in my blankets, and they drag me down to the floor. I narrowly avoid hitting my head. I thank my lucky stars that I didn't get hurt before frantically scrambling to my feet. I dash out of my room and into the kitchen. I pop open the fridge, I open the fridge and am greeted by the wafting aroma of cold, sweet, and sour pork leftovers. I grab the container unceremoniously and launch it across the kitchen, cheering when it lands in the open microwave. I dash to the microwave and mash the keypad blindly. The light flickers to life and the machine starts up with a splutter and a hum. While my excellent choice of breakfast is being cooked to perfection, I decide to get dressed. Oh, what did she get? What was it? Sweet and sour pork, was it? Yeah, sweet and sour pork. Good choice. Sweet and sour pork is a damn fine choice. When I reach my closet, I come to the sinking realization that I don't have an academy uniform yet. I heave open the doors with a sigh, only to be greeted by the sight of an unfamiliar dry cleaning bag and a coat hanger. With a confused frown, I pull the bag down and find a note written on the front in cute handwriting. I went to the trouble of picking up your new uniform for you. You owe me one, Hikari. Oh, that Hikari. She thinks of everything. Did we get to see ourselves? Only at the very beginning when we chose our gender. I don't know if our character is ever actually visible again. I tear into the dry cleaning bag and pull out the brand new uniform. I'm in the middle of climbing into my new threads just as an angry cacophony of beeps and boops calls to me from the kitchen. Breakfast is ready. I finish donning my amazing new outfit and rocket into the kitchen to throw food into my gullet. My breakfast is demolished in a new personal record of 12.74 seconds, and then I'm out the door in a flash. I hardly even know where I'm going, but I recall Hikari saying the academy is walking distance from my home. It's not hard to find a map on my phone, so I load that up and begin my hurried walk. Hikari a pimp? Indeed. A little time passes. It's 8:24 a.m. Can I make it in time? The map on my phone tells me I'll arrive in 8 minutes. I'll be a little late, but a couple of minutes never hurt anyone, right? I wonder if Hikari will be there to greet me at the school gate. It would be nice to see a familiar face after this whirlwind of a morning. My power walk evolves into a jog when I see the school gates looming in the distance. I can't believe it. I'm actually going to make it. There's a few other straggling students making their way into the school. They're all wearing the academy's uniform, including its signature pastel yellow vest. I notice that all the other students are female. I suppose that's not too surprising. This is a school for magical girls, after all. Still, it's the first time I'm witnessing such a thing. In a minute. In a minute. Yeah. Sorry. I just need to get my Pop Shop brand cream soda. Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor yet. I'm trying to angle for a sponsorship. Pop Shop. Pop Shop, if you want to talk sponsorship, I'm open. Anyway, I finally reached the school gates. When I peer beyond them, I can see the other students entering what looks to be the school hall. I suppose that's where orientation is being held? I glance around to see if Hikari is here. No luck, though. Maybe she's waiting for me inside the hall? I break into a run towards the school hall, sprinting as fast as my unfit legs can carry me. I weave in and around the other students, also making a mad dash forward. I'm nearly there. I can almost taste my fashionably late entrance. My foot snags on another student's shoe. Guess I wasn't quick enough to get out of their way. I don't even have time to let out a gasp as I fall flat on my face on the pavement. I was so close. I nearly made it. Now I'm just lying on the ground, face down like an idiot. A little squeal erupts from in front of me. My first thought is that maybe I squashed some small, cute animal when I fell. Like a kitten. Or a squirrel that can squeal. I push myself off the ground and I'm greeted by an unexpected sight. Yui Akiyama. At least they had the... I will give them the tiniest shred of credit for having the good taste not to have her panties visible here. A cute girl wearing glasses has fallen on the ground in front of me. She looks to be about my age, so I assume she's a first-year student as well. She is trying, and failing, to cover up her panties, which I believe the entire world can now see. Eek! Don't look! Don't look! I bashfully turn my head away for at least a second. Then I turn back to her. Stop it! Stop looking! I'm sorry. I think I knocked you over. No, I think it was my fault. I was in a rush and wasn't looking where I was going. Are you hurt? No, I'm okay. The girl is still trying to adjust her skirt so that she can rescue her dignity. Are we really late for orientation? Screaming. Yeah, I think so. That's terrible. I promised myself I would make it on time. I can't believe I slept in. I'm a stupid, stupid girl. Buttercup, what is this game? How to Date a Magical Girl. Part dating sim, part psychological horror. The horror does take a little bit of time to kick in. Once it does, it progresses pretty quickly. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, the game seems like a fairly standard dating sim for a while, and then there's a pretty sudden and massive escalation, and it just kind of keeps going from there. You will know when the horror kicks in. Trust me. It's going to be like dating sim, dating sim, dating sim. What the fuck? It's like, oh, yeah, this does it. Horror. I don't know why they describe this as a horror. This isn't a... Oh! Okay. This is the horror. Hey now, don't beat yourself up. I slept in too. And I'm also a stupid, stupid girl. You don't understand. I only slept in because I went to bed at 3 a.m. Even though I promised myself I wouldn't stay up so late. This girl sure seems interesting. Wonder what could have caused her to stay up so late the day before school starts. As Frank goes by. Yeah, we do need to get past this frame. Why are you up until 3 a.m.?
That's too embarrassing to answer.
Ah, she was schlicking. Come on now, you can tell me. It's not like we're strangers. I mean, I've seen your...
Kya! Don't say it!
Yeah, inappropriate, dude! That is wildly inappropriate to say to a girl that you don't even know her, that you've just met.
Oops. Fine, I'll tell you why I was up so late. I was watching films.
Oh, what kind of films? Boy love. She was definitely watching BL films. Boy love. She was watching, like, Brokeback Mountain and other, like, gay films. Films, huh? I wonder what kind of films.
It's not my fault I have trouble going to bed after watching horror movies. I start to see shadows lurking in every corner, and I get too scared to even try to sleep.
Horror movies.
I don't expect someone like you to know what it's like. To become so engrossed in a tale of the macabre that all the hairs on your body stand on end. To be frightened senseless at the slightest strange sound from within your own home.
Brokeback Mountain is a good movie. Especially if you like watching dudes make out.
Until you've experienced that kind of paralyzing horror, you'll never understand the joy of cult horror films.
The girl is breathing heavily, obviously exhausted from her passionate outburst. I think she may have a screw loose.
You haven't lived until you've seen a film that makes your toes curl, chills your bones, and gives you goosebumps, all at the same time.
I'll take your word for it. So this girl likes to scare herself senseless, and then she wonders why she can't get to sleep at a decent hour? So, you still haven't covered up your, The girl squeals in embarrassment. I'd feel sorry for her if the view wasn't in my favor. No! Pervert!
Stop! Stop looking! Sorry. Why am I cursed with such bad luck? How can something so embarrassing happen on the very first day of school?
I suppose I should understand why she's so distressed. Maybe I should say something to calm her down. Please don't blunt her panties. By the way, what's your name?
My name?
Yeah. Is that such an unusual question?
No, I suppose not. My name is Yui. Yui Akiyama. I'm pleased to meet you, I guess.
It's nice to meet you, Yui. My name is Yuki. And hey! We're no longer staring at the allegedly 18-year-old girl who's just barely avoiding showing her panties to us, the viewer. I get to my feet and dust myself off. I reach a hand out to Yui. Here, I'll help you up. I swear that Yui blushes for a second before grabbing my hand. Her fingers are soft and delicate. Warm. She grips my hand ever so lightly, and I manage to lift her to her feet.
Thank you. I'm sorry we had to meet under such distressing circumstances.
Don't sweat it. I'm just happy to have met you at all. The soft red blush returns to her cheeks, and she looks away shyly.
We should go.
Yeah. Without another word, Yui takes the lead and walks in front of me. I follow behind her obediently. We make our way to the entrance of the school hall. The big wooden doors are closed, barring our way forward. Yui tries pulling the handle. The door is stuck fast. She frowns, then changes tactics, pushing the door instead. Still no luck. The door is securely locked.
Do they really lock out latecomers?
I guess so.
Oh no. Are we going to be punished for missing orientation?
Probably not.
I don't think I can handle detention.
Orientations are usually boring shit anyway. Calm down, calm down. I'm sure we're not going to be punished. We'll just have to wait here until orientation ends, I suppose. I give Yui a shrug. If we wait around for the students to leave the hall, we'll surely run into Hikari. Hikari will know what to do. She always does. In the meantime, why don't we get to know each other? Yui doesn't say anything. A downtrodden expression has etched itself onto her features. She leans against the wall and lets out a sigh. So, do you know any magic? Either she doesn't hear me or she's choosing to ignore me now. Her eyes are closed, as though trying to block out the world around her. Well, not much I can do, I suppose. I slump down and sit on the ground. I have no idea how long orientation goes for, or how long we'll be waiting around here. A bell rings. A bell rings. Finally, orientation is finished. The doors of the school hall swing wide open and a flood of students leak out of the building. There must be hundreds of girls all scurrying forward. As they exit the hall, they split into different directions, surely heading towards their first classes for the day. If only I knew what my classes were, I could head towards where I'm supposed to go. But I've no clue what I'm doing here. I need to find Hikari. I stand to the side as all the students tumble out of the hall. I lose sight of Yui on the other side of the crowd. Oh well. She stopped talking to me anyway. Not my fault. I desperately try to catch a glimpse of Hikari's familiar face in the crowd. Doesn't help that she's shorter than most of the other students, so she'll likely be lost in the group. I suddenly feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn around. You idiot! How can you miss orientation? I was waiting inside the hall for you, and then they locked the doors, and I had to sit by myself. Hikari, I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it. You let me down, Yuki. You're going to make this up to me. I will. I'm really sorry. What happened anyway? Did you sleep in? Well, yeah, I did, but I actually got here at a decent time. The problem is, I had knocked another girl over, and we got caught up talking. Another girl? Yep, I knocked up over! Oh, knocked over another girl! Yeah, actually, because the crowd is thinned out, I can see Yui standing awkwardly by the doors. It was that girl over there. Hikari looks towards Yui, standing all alone. I see. Is she a first year as well? She looks lost. Yeah, I think so. Since we got locked outside, we weren't sure what to do or where to go. I was kinda hoping you could help us, Hikari. Hikari almost looks sad just for a moment, but then a bright smile flashes across her face. I'm always happy to help. Now that orientation is over, we have to go to our homeroom and meet our teacher. I can lead the way. Hikari begins to skip away. I grab Yui's attention with a wave and beckon her towards us. What is it? We can go to homeroom and meet our teacher now. Do you want to follow us? Yeah, okay, thanks. With that, the three of us make our way to the classroom. The classroom is noisy. There must be 30 students packed in, chatting away and waiting for the teacher to arrive. J-Dot! Hey, J-Dot. Hikari managed to find seats for myself and Yui, all lined up next to each other. Not a bad arrangement, if I do say so myself. I glance around the room. It all feels very familiar, just like high school all over again. The students are even in cliques, and it's only the very first day. There's a group of sporty-looking girls at the back of the class. One of them is bouncing a basketball for some reason. I don't know why she brought that to the academy. Maybe just to reinforce her clique's stereotype? Just got home from church? I thought your churches were on Wednesdays. Did church just go that long? At the front of the class are the bookworms. They're shy, speaking only in whispers, and glancing nervously at the other students. Hanging out by the classroom door are the rebellious girls. Few of them have streaks of neon color dyed in their hair. Their uniforms are untidy, and a few have cut off their sleeves. And here, in the middle of the class, are Hikari, Yui, and myself. Hikari and I go way back, of course. I've just met Yui. As for Hikari and Yui's relationship, I don't think they've spoken a single word to each other. Will they become friends? Time will tell. The clamor of voices quiets down as the classroom door opens and a woman enters. She makes her way to the front of the class, offers a smile, and begins her speech.
Good morning, class. I'm your homeroom teacher, Miss Otsuka. But you can all call me by my first name, Satomi. You'll find out that I'm a very informal teacher, unlike any teacher you've had during your school years for sure. It's my hope that we'll all become friends during your first year here at the Academy. I hope that we can build a relationship that carries on long after you graduate.
This new teacher, Satomi, seems really nice. I can't really pick out just one defining feature of this new teacher. No, I'd have to pick two. Yeah, she has two very large, very defining features. Her eyes, of course. And yes. Beeps! Landlord's a total dipshit and he's gonna dick me over selling the house even though I live inside it. Well, that sucks, Scapegoat. Fucking landlords. On a less shallow note, I guess she has an inviting smile. Overall, she's definitely not bad for an older woman. MILF. I'm into her. She seems to have captured the class's attention. Even the rebellious girls have taken a seat to show their respect. $112? Nice. I am sure you all have a million questions burning in your brains, especially after orientation. Yeah, that orientation definitely left me with a lot of questions. For sure. Rest assured, I am here to help every one of you achieve your goals and get good grades during the year. I should give her a deeper voice. As your homeroom teacher, I'll offer you support and guidance. If you need assistance with any of your subjects, you can always come to me. Why are we a lesbian and a misogynist? Clearly we're a lesbian pervert. Satomi claps her hands together and beams. Now then, with all that out of the way... As she takes a step forward, her elbow knocks a stack of papers off her desk. Important-looking documents scatter all over the floor. Elbow, sure. The class gasps, then falls silent, waiting to see how she reacts to the mess she just made. Oops. Satomi's face turns bright red and she bends down to pick up some of the papers. She lowers herself and a loud thud echoes through the classroom as her head slams into the corner of her desk. The class gasps once more. Then, silence. Ouch. So our teacher is a klutz. Probably can't see around the eyes. Probably can't see around her big eyes. I hear a slight giggle from Yui, seated next to me. She obviously thinks this whole affair is pretty funny. A few girls rushed up to the front of the class to help the teacher pick up her papers. When Satomi stands up, I can make out the faint purple outline of a bruise forming on her forehead. After two clumsy failures, Satomi hasn't exactly managed to maintain her composure. She's glowing red and a bead of embarrassed sweat trickles down her face. The Japanese yet. Hi, Dame Trotter.
Class, if you could all just ignore that little spectacle, I would greatly appreciate it.
A few students giggle quietly. Satomi does her best to continue with her speech. Somehow, she hasn't entirely lost the class's respect, which is admirable. Okay, class. Where was I? Oh, yes. For our first piece of business today, I'll be covering the subjects you'll be learning this year. Let's begin. There are 3 core subjects you must all attend in order to progress at the Academy. These subjects are Magical History, Practical Magic, and Alchemy. Any other subjects you choose to undertake at the Academy are optional, but will provide credits towards your overall degree. In Magical History class, you'll learn all about the origins of the magical girls that have become commonplace in our world. You'll discover how they came to being and their importance in our modern society. In Practical Magic class, you'll undertake a rigorous magic training to hone your minds and bodies. You'll learn spells and abilities that are essential for a magical girl to undertake her duties. Finally, in Alchemy class, you'll become familiar with the art of crafting magical items. From magical swords and staves to potions and portals, this is where your creativity will be put to the test. This all sounds pretty cool. I had no idea there was so much involved with becoming a magical girl. This makes me want to watch something by Takashi Miike. Is anyone ever really ready for Easter? Is there a need to be ready for, like, do you actually need? Is Easter something you need to prepare for? I hear the hurried scratching of pen and paper and look to my left. Hikari is scribbling notes frantically, her tongue sticking out the side of her mouth as she concentrates. To my right, Yui is also taking notes, though she's decorated the page of her notebook with doodles of a wicked witch stirring a cauldron. Your time here at the Academy will be one of the most memorable experiences of your life. In fact, when you look back on these days, you may think it was all just a dream. That's how pleasant your days here will be. With that said, don't think you can just slack off. In order to graduate, you will need to put in a lot of hard work. Don't expect to excel at every class. All students are different, and you may find that what comes naturally to you is very difficult for someone else. It's important to not let your classes and studying time dominate your life. Socialize, make friends, take the time to relax once in a while. I highly recommend joining a club when you get the chance. We host a variety of fun clubs that you can attend in your free time. Take part in activities and meet new people. Gotta buy chocolate eggs. Or bunnies, chocolate bunnies. I always used to love the chocolate bunnies. Finally, to wrap up my little speech, I need to tell you what to expect at exam time. First day of spring, that's right. It is the equinox. Audition is a great one. I think Chantel and I watched that and turned it off. Because, like, it was this long stretch of being just boring. And then it got, like, just torture porn. And it's like, ugh, pass. See, I think we both hated Audition. We found it exceptionally boring. And then when it got to the torture section, it was like, nope. Not interested in watching just straight up torture. The Academy runs exams twice during the year. You can expect an exam each semester. The key attributes we assess you on are magic, alchemy, perception, and expertise. It's important to focus on raising these attributes during your study time. You can improve your attributes with theory or practice. There's no wrong way to go. Terrifier's like torture porn and she liked it. Reading books, taking time to study, practicing spells, or performing alchemy. All of these activities will help you improve your attributes.
You may find that other activities outside of school will also help you out. Be sure to explore and find out what works best for you. If your key attributes are high enough come exam time, you will no doubt perform very well. So, as long as you work hard at improving yourself, you have no need to stress. Should you fail your exams? Well, let's not go into that today, okay? I'm sure you will all succeed with flying colors. Satomi smiles widely at the class. Everyone seems to be in a good mood after hearing her passionate speech. I run through the subjects she talked about in my head. Magical history, practical magic, and alchemy. They all sound fairly interesting. I get the feeling I'll enjoy practical magic the most. After all, isn't that about casting spells and seeing real magic happen before your eyes? Satomi wraps up her little speech with a few heartfelt quotes from some famous magical girls, or something along those lines. I started getting hungry, so I began to zone out. Just took last bite of a breakfast burrito I made. Popcorn and sugar-free candy. And Coke Zero for dinner. Not a very healthy dinner, J-Dot. Before I know it, I'm being shuffled out of the classroom by Hikari. All the other students are leaving too, and Yui is following behind. Hikari pulls me aside in the corridor. So, Yuki, what did you think? Everything sounds so exciting, right? Yeah. I actually think I'll enjoy my time here. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I have a feeling we'll have most of our classes together, so we can always help each other out with our studies. I notice Yui standing off to the side of the corridor. She's glancing at her phone absent-mindedly. I get the feeling she's not one to make friends easily, and she doesn't seem to know anyone at the school. Maybe I should make her an effort and invite her to hang out with Hikari and myself? I'm super excited about magical history class. I want to learn about all the famous magical girls from history, like Jeanne d'Arc and Cleopatra. Cleopatra was a magical girl? Jeanne d'Arc, I can... Okay, Jeanne d'Arc, I can see it, but Cleopatra? I let Hikari trail off as I wander over to Yui. Hey. Yui looks up from her phone, somewhat taken aback. I wasn't waiting around for you or anything like that. I just don't know anyone here. It's okay. Don't sweat it. I'm sorry about running into you, this morning. Yui almost gives me a smile. It's okay. I'm glad I met at least one new person today. Haven't had Coke Zero in 3 weeks and I used to have it like every day. I have never in my life had Coke Zero. I don't think. No. Never in my life had Coke Zero. Cleopatra invented makeup. She's magical. She didn't invent makeup. Makeup existed for, 3,000 years before she was born. Like Cleopatra, they were TLC proteges. I do not remember them scapegoat. Me too. If you don't mind, you're more than welcome to hang out with myself and Hikari. Thank you. I'd like that. I'll feel more comfortable having a few friends around. Hikari stomps over to us in a huff. Yuki! I was in the middle of talking to you and you just walked away. Who taught you to be so rude? It certainly wasn't me. Sorry, Hikari. I figured I should probably introduce you since we'll be taking classes together. Hikari, this is Yui. And Yui, this is my little friend, Hikari.
I don't know what else she did, so she worked really well. What else she did was politics.
Your little friend? Is that all I am to you? Humph. We've known each other for how many years now? The amount of disrespect I get from you is incredible.
Whoa, I'm sorry. Hikari, I'm sorry.
Humph.
I mean, she's a friend and she's little. She's a little friend. Yui, Hikari is my childhood friend. We've known each other forever.
It's nice to meet you, Hikari.
Nice to meet you too. Since we're all new here, we should all be friends. It will make school more fun, right?
Yeah. That sounds good, Yuki.
Yui then does something I didn't expect. She bows formally to Hikari.
Hikari, I hope we can be good friends. Please take care of me.
Ooh, she wants Hikari to take care of her. Oh. I'm taken aback by her formality and politeness. Even Hikari has a shocked look on her face and can only offer a stuttering reply.
Thank you. I hope we can be good friends.
Yui offers Hikari a warm smile, then blushes a little and goes back to burying her face in her phone. Guess she got a bit embarrassed. Hey, who wants to get something to eat? Yuki is paying today. Hey! Hikari and Yui chuckle at my expense before dragging me out to lunch. After we stuffed our faces with food, the three of us returned to class. The rest of the afternoon was filled with a tour of the school grounds and an introduction to optional subjects we could enroll in. All in all, it was a pretty full-on day, even though our actual core classes haven't begun yet. Hey, Sweet Caroline, what the hell is this? It is a magical girl dating sim / psychological horror. We have not actually gone to the psychological horror yet. Correction, we have not gotten to the deliberate psychological horror yet. We are a ways off from the deliberate horror. The teachers wrapped up the day at about 3 p.m., telling us to go on our merry way and get some rest for tomorrow. Hikari offered to walk home with me, so we said goodbye to Yui, who was heading in the opposite direction. Before long, Hikari and I found ourselves out front of my place.
So, all in all, what did you think of the first day?
I'm liking it so far, even though we haven't started learning any magic yet.
Yes, well, from tomorrow on, it's classes as normal, so you best be prepared. I don't want to catch you slacking and letting your grades drop.
Don't worry. I'll do my best.
Thanks. By the way, what do you think of Yui?
Do we say Yui's nice, weird, or not going to replace Hikari? You know what? How many weeks will this game take? I don't really know. The game is listed as having a playtime of 10 to 15 hours. So anywhere from like 5 to 10 weeks. I can break it up now and then with some other games. I can break it up now and then with like some quick one-off games. She's nice. I kind of want to suck up to Hikari. Like, she is nice. Yui is nice, but I did piss Hikari off by missing orientation. So I'm gonna suck up to, and by calling her my little friend, I'm gonna suck up to Hikari. She's not going to replace you. Hikari blushes a deep crimson.
What are you even talking about, Yuki? You're so silly sometimes.
Hikari's affection is increased by 2. Hey. Hikari is so dependent. I like crossword puzzles. Yeah, the crossword puzzles were fun. Give her reassurance. Yeah, suck up to her. That way she can't be angry anymore. But
Yui seems to live in her own world. With people like Yui, you never know what they're thinking. It might be best to be careful around her.
I give Hikari a nod, though I'm not too worried. I've seen a side of Yui that Hikari hasn't seen. Stop perving! Stop perving, dude! Was that us for cute? That was us, yes. This is us. Ah, yes, this is... Yeah, okay, this is where it does... This is where it shows affection. Or will. Even if that side is just underwear, at the very least, I know Yui can let her guard down. Anyway, I think we should have an early night. We need to be up bright and early tomorrow. I don't want a repeat performance of you being late. Roger that. I'll set my alarm extra early. Make sure you do. Hikari beams her familiar smile and then skips away. See you tomorrow, classmate! I wave sheepishly as Hikari goes on her way. I should head inside too and rest up. After all, tomorrow is another school day! Fuck, that just reminded me of that episode of The Simpsons. I believe it was the episode where Skinner and Selma? Yeah, Selma. The episode where Skinner and Selma started dating, and then she, after she broke it off with him, he was like, after all, tomorrow is another school day! April 17th, Tuesday. For some reason, I'm much more energetic this morning. Maybe it's because I have a clear idea of what's in store for today. And I had a pretty good day yesterday. I woke up on time, brushed my teeth, and even took a shower. Silky clean! After putting on my brand new Academy uniform, my phone beep-booped, a nice tune to let me know about an incoming text message. I check the screen and my eyes are assaulted by a hailstorm of animated emojis. Good morning, sleepyhead! Mom had to leave early for work today. I didn't want to eat breakfast alone. Can I come have breakfast with you? YN? Okay, I don't like how Hikari texts. Well, there's no doubt that this is from Hikari. She always texts like this. I heave a sigh and send her a one-letter reply. N. Before I can even put my phone down, a reply pops up on the screen. Meanie, be nice to me. Classic Hikari. A second reply follows. BTW, I'm outside. Of course she was. That was going to be obvious. Seriously? If I didn't know her so well, I'd swear this girl has issues with boundaries. I mean, you knew she was out. You should have known she was outside, dude. I head towards the front door and open it up. I'm greeted by a gentle breeze. The fresh spring air is crisp this morning and feels nice on my skin. Hikari is standing there, glaring angrily at her phone. A single cherry blossom petal is stuck in her hair.
Can't believe you don't want me over for breakfast. Next time I won't ask, I'll just show up.
But that's literally what you did this time. Like that. Next time I won't even ask. Next time I'll just show up. You just showed up this time. Or, that's pretty much the same as right now. Shh! I don't want to hear it. Now move out of the way. I'm making us pancakes. Well, I can't complain about that. Hikari is pretty good at making pancakes, even if she just uses the pre-made mix from the store. Hikari heads into the kitchen and starts humming as she prepares breakfast. I decide to sit down at the table and just wait for Hikari to expend her energy. It doesn't take her too long to finish cooking. When she's done, she brings 2 plates of delicious-smelling pancakes to the table. Ta-da! Pancakes a la Hikari. My family's secret recipe. You bought the pre-made mix from the store, didn't you? Oh, yes, but I added sugar. Sugar! It's a secret ingredient. I poke my tongue out at her and dig in. Sure enough, the pancakes are good. Nice and fluffy. Somehow, all the instant food Hikari makes tastes way better than when I make it myself. Maybe she adds sugar to everything? Even instant noodles. Hikari has a mouthful of food when she decides to tell me one of her trademark weird stories. I had a dream about you last night. We were together, walking through a dark and eerie forest. I was so scared, but you were brave. You told me that no one could hurt me as long as you were around. So that made me feel better. Until we ran into an evil witch. The witch said, "Eat this cauldron of boiled mushrooms, or I'll place a wicked curse on you." You refused to eat the disgusting concoction, so the witch pulled out her wand and pointed it at you. Zap! Boom! Tazam! You transformed into a gross mushroom. The witch cackled and disappeared into the darkness. I looked into your disgusting mushroom face and saw that you still had eyes and a mouth. Even as a mushroom, you still had your usual dopey look. It made me really happy that you were still yourself. And then you ate me in a non-sexual way. Weird dream, right? Yup. But it got me thinking. If you turned into a talking mushroom, what would you do with yourself? What would I do if I was a talking mushroom? Find a nice hot spring and have a soak until I become soup? That one's kind of funny. I don't know. It was a stupid dream and I'm not a mushroom, so it doesn't matter. I like this one. I'd wait until you ate me. I'd wait until you ate me. Only a matter of time until you got hungry. That said, becoming soup is also a funny option. If I was a worm, would you still love me? No. Who doesn't want to become a soup? But I'm going to go with the double entendre one. I'd wait until you ate me. Only a matter of time until you got hungry. That's so mean. I'd never eat you. Well, at least I don't think I would. Don't knock it until you try it, girl. Hikari and I both finished eating. It was a good breakfast, that's for sure. Though, I can't help but feel a little sleepy after packing my face full of food. Hikari must be feeling the same way because she begins to yawn. The little cherry blossom petal that was stuck in her hair flutters down and lands on her empty plate. Oh, look! I'm so happy that the cherry blossoms are in season again. This is my favorite time of year. The trees look so pretty. Hikari's face turns red and she blushes. I'm glad we get to go to school together in the springtime. It's such a wonderful dream come true. Aww. I return Hikari's smile and have to admit I feel the same way she does. It really is a nice time of year, and the perfect season for a new beginning. Oh snap! We have to get going or we'll be late. Well, here we go again. The mad rush to get to school on time. Even though I woke up early this morning. If we're late today, at least I can place the blame on Hikari's absurd mushroom dream story. We grab all our stuff and hastily make our way to the door. Standing next to the school gate is a familiar face from yesterday.
Oh, good morning.
I get the feeling she is waiting for us here, too nervous to venture into the school alone. Luckily, Hikari and I managed to get here just in time. Yui is holding a nicely decorated box in her hands. I assume it's a bento lunchbox.
I made some sweets for us to share today. Would you be interested in meeting up for lunch?
Hikari literally jumps with joy.
Sweets? I love sweets! Let's have lunch together!
The way to a woman's heart! I nod and smile. Thanks, Yui. That sounds like a good idea. Yui's face turns red and she shyly lowers her head.
I'm glad. I'll look forward to it.
I need more soda. Man, I don't know what it is, but for some reason... reading this one is just... making my throat sore. Only seen with you water, you must be feeling adventurous. Mostly I do only drink water. I like, for the gaming streams, whenever I'm doing gaming streams, I do like to have a little bit of soda as well. On a random note, I want to say how weird it is how many viewers I have today. My gaming streams usually have like 6 viewers, 4 viewers. For some reason, everybody wants to watch this weird-ass game with me. Mix it up a little? Indeed. But for now, we need to get to class. March! March! We make our way to our first class. Good morning, new students, and welcome to your first magical history class. What kind? It is cream soda. Pop Shop brand cream soda. With their exceptionally questionable mascot. For Pop Shop, each flavor has a different, like, little mascot on it. The cream soda, it's clearly supposed to be whipped cream. But it looks like poop. Boobs. I mean, she's not that booby. She's nowhere near as booby as the other teacher that we met. My name is Isilin Arcane. I'll be your teacher for this class. It is my duty to ensure you pass your exams and move on to become second-year students. Brazilian. Okay. Brazilian. Oh, shh. Shit, how do I do a Brazilian accent? Somebody tell me. Oops. Oh, that's the reason people are tuning in. How do I do a Brazilian accent? As I'm sure you can tell from my accent, I'm not originally from Japan. No, I was born in Brazil, a country that many of you will know is famous for its culture of magic and wonder. Apparently my Brazilian is just a really, really bad Spanish accent. I don't know how to do a Brazilian accent. Would I try Lime Ricky? Probably not, like Spanish. They are different, though. But apparently, yes, apparently I'm just going to have to do a Spanish accent. Indeed, many famous magical girls have emerged from Brazil over the years. No, wait, I'm doing a fucking French accent. Indeed, many famous magical girls have emerged from Brazil over the years. It is safe to say that Brazil is second only to Japan in terms of the amount of magical girls it produces. Magical girls, as I'm sure you know, have existed for centuries. Without them, the world would surely fall into disrepair. After all, it is a magical girl's duty to banish evil in all its forms. However, I am not here to teach you about banishing evil. I am here to teach you about the origins of magical girls. Now, before we study where we all came from, it might be a good idea to examine where we are now. In today's world, evil is a rare thing to come across. Because of that, the average magical girl spends the majority of her time contributing to society, instead of engaging in combat. There are currently 3 jobs that are considered to be the most popular among magical girls. They are, in order of popularity, musical idol, doctor, and finally, teacher. Yeah, the stereotypes. That is the stereotype. Or the trope. That is a trope. Watch Magical. Every magical girl wants to be either an idol, a doctor, or a teacher. You might be wondering why these 3 jobs are the most popular. Well, I think I can explain the reasons behind that. Many magical girls pursue careers as musical idols. I'm sure you're all familiar with some of the famous idols on the music charts at the moment. Because of their abilities, magical girls are able to entertain like no other. Some idols use their powers to put on grandiose shows with fireworks and lights, while others put their skills to use to enhance their singing voice, or produce music without instruments. Who is the famous magical girl doctor? Well, Sailor Mercury, I mean. Sailor Mercury was studying to be a doctor. That was her dream, was to be a doctor. Magical girls with supportive or healing abilities tend to tackle careers as doctors. Their unique powers make patients feel better again in no time. This is a noble career choice, and makes a positive impact on many people's lives. Lastly, becoming a teacher is a noble pursuit. Much like myself, we use our knowledge of the magical arts to help mold the youth of the future. During your time here at the Academy, you'll likely ask yourself over and over again what you aim to do once you graduate. Yeah, no one wants to be the magical girl who ends up working retail. No one wants to be the magical girl whose costume includes a name tag, you know? Picking any of the 3 job professions I've talked about today is an excellent choice. But be aware! These jobs are in high demand and you'll have a lot of competition. Now, Iselin continues on with her lesson.
I'm definitely fascinated by her words, but Hikari's pancake breakfast is taking its toll on me and making me very, very drowsy. I do my best to stay awake through the rest of the lesson. Now to concentrate all my powers on telling off rude customers without getting fired. Good point. The bell rings for lunch. When we exit the classroom to head to lunch, I feel a gentle tug at my shoulder. I turn to look, and my eyes meet Yui's. Hi. Oh, hey. Did you enjoy that class? Yes, it was very interesting. I must have written 20 pages of notes. 20 pages? How can you write so much in our first lesson? Creating a field that prevents them from returning until they have an attitude change. An apology. I'm not sure. I think I just write quickly. How many pages of notes did you write? 1? Maybe? Yui looks at me with disappointment. I'll be honest, I didn't take much notes in class. I don't really remember for high school. I know in college I really didn't take a lot of notes. Well, if you need to look over my notes, you are more than welcome. I smile and nod. Hikari is the last person to shuffle out of the classroom. She's mumbling something about wanting to become a musical idol and not a doctor. Hey, Hikari, you okay? I took hella notes and I write big. She looks taken aback. I'm fine. I was just chatting to the teacher about which career path I should take. Already? It's the second day of class and you're already thinking about your career? Well, of course. I can't just drift aimlessly. I need to have a goal. You should start thinking about your future too, Yuki. Nah, I'm good. Yui giggles a little. Hikari looks flustered, but I can tell she doesn't want to get into a heated argument in front of Yui. Hikari changes her demeanor completely when she sees the box of sweets Yui showed off this morning. She sidles up to Yui, a devious expression crossing her face. Hey, Yui. Do you want to share some sweets with us? Shameless. I roll my eyes at Hikari's predictable behavior. To say she has a sweet tooth is an understatement. To Yui's credit, she just smiles and nods. I brought these as sweets for all of us, so I'm really looking forward to sharing with you both. Jackpot! Let's go find somewhere to eat. Let me guess. The roof. Hikari dashes off, practically dragging Yui and I behind her. We rush at full speed through the academy's winding hallways until we reach the cafeteria. Hikari takes one look inside and sees that it's jam-packed full of noisy students. Without missing a beat, she continues on, still dragging us behind her. We hit a stairwell and she jumps up 2 stairs at a time. I try to ask where we're going, but she ignores me completely. After we bend up another couple of stairwells, Hikari throws a door open and we spill out onto the rooftop. Naturally. Always the rooftop. It's completely silent up here. No other students in sight. Perfect! This can be our lunch hangout. It's not bad, I have to admit. There's a few places to sit, and the air is nice and fresh up here. There's a couple of birds perching on the ledge, minding their own business. One hoots as Hikari sits a little too close. Now, Yui, what do you have for us? She's salivating at the simple thought of the sweets Yui brought. Well, Yui opens up the beautifully wrapped box she's been tucking underneath her arm. She removes the lid to reveal a neatly organized selection of homemade treats. Hikari's eyes dazzle as she takes in the bounty before her.
There are sweet rice cakes, red bean mochi balls, mochi balls. Mochi? Mochi or mochi? Is it mochi or is it mochi? Mochi, right? Green tea flavored candies, chocolate drizzled chestnuts, and a few slices of fresh watermelon.
Yui, did you make all these? Did you make all these? Yes. Well, except the watermelon, of course.
What, you didn't make the watermelon? Mochi.
Everything looks amazing. I can't believe it. I have to try one of everything. I just have to.
Yui seems to take Hikari's greed as a compliment, and she smiles proudly. She offers the box to Hikari, officially giving her the go-ahead to jump in. I wait for Hikari to finish grabbing a few fistfuls of sweets before I selectively pick up the best-looking mochi balls and chocolate chestnuts. Thanks, Yui. Everything looks really good. Yui smiles again, possibly even more than she did for Hikari. I bite into a mochi ball and let the sweet red bean paste fill my mouth. The flavor is incredible. It's unlike anything I've tasted before. Yui must have a real knack for making sweets. This is amazing, Yui. Thank you for sharing with us.
Oh, I'm more than happy to share. You two are my newest friends, so I'm glad I can make something you both like.
I chomp on a few chestnuts and take a look over at Hikari. She has chocolate all over her face and watermelon juice dripping from the tip of her nose. I just shake my head and continue to enjoy the treats. Yui doesn't seem to be eating anything. She's just smiling and watching me enjoy myself. At first it seemed weird that she didn't want to eat anything, but when I really think about it, she probably taste tests most of this stuff and gets sick of it easily. Yeah, not how it works. Not at all how it works. I don't give it any more thought. When the box of sweets is completely empty, I let out a sigh of satisfaction and take a seat on an old milk crate. Thanks so much, Yui. I really enjoyed the sweets.
You're very welcome, Yuki.
I nudge Hikari to encourage her to thank Yui, but she seems to be in a food coma and is fast asleep. There's still a bit of chocolate on her face. Sorry about Hikari. She can be a bit herself. We'll finish this scene, and then...
Oh, it's not a bother. I can tell she liked the food, so for me that's the best thanks I can get.
Where did you learn to make stuff like that?
I don't know, to be honest. I guess I just read a lot and pick up things here and there. No one's ever really showed me how to make sweets.
Interesting. Well, I look forward to having some more next time.
Of course. So, Yuki, do you have a boyfriend? Or a girlfriend?
I'm shocked by Yui's sudden forwardness. I can't believe this shy girl just straight up asked if I'm seeing anybody. Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. You don't have to answer me. I was just trying to make conversation.
No, it's okay. No need to be sorry. The truth is, I don't have either. I'm single right now.
Oh, is that so? Then, what do you look for in a person?
Shy girls with glasses. That's the flirtiest. But I like girls that are comfortable being themselves. As I say this, I hear Hikari's snoring turn into a little giggle. Hikari's affection increased by 1.
Well, Thank you for telling me. Just so you know, I'm single too. And I thought it would be nice to find a partner during my time at the academy.
That's pretty much my goal too. I want to have a girlfriend by New Year's Eve. It's my ultimate dream. Yui grins widely.
A partner by New Year's Eve. That's a good dream. Maybe I'll make it my goal too.
Yui seems to be kind of into me. I wonder if I'm reading this situation right. Though I can't really make a move with Hikari pretending to be asleep right next to us. And it would probably be a good idea to get to know Yui better before I ask her to be my girlfriend. I'll give it some time. At the very least, she seems to like me a lot. That's a great start. Yui and I are smiling broadly at each other when we hear the bell resound throughout our school.
Oh! It looks like our lunch break is over.
Well, we better get to our next class. I shake Hikari and she awakens abruptly.
Ah! What? What's happening?
Wake up, sleepyhead. We need to go to our next class.
Oh no! But I haven't had a proper lunch yet. I've only eaten sweets.
Well, you should have thought about that before you devoured your weight in chocolate.
Humph!
Yui and I laugh at Hikari's chocolate-faced expression. We all head downstairs, on our way to the next class. Alright, and that is a good place to end this episode. Because I've hit the 2-hour mark, so that's good for today. Don't think we'll get any horror next week either. Maybe the week after that we might start getting the first horror. Want more girl on girl? Next week we should be meeting the rest of the dateable girls. We still got a couple more dateable girls to meet. So I think we'll make them all next week. But for now, honestly, I actually need to go poop. I need to go poop now, so I'm going to end the stream. And we'll continue with this next week. So thanks for coming. And good night.